John Lusk here of Lusk Archery Adventures. Series testing, successful hunting. You've seen me test quite a few broadheads out of Australia, and today I'm going to be doing that with another one for the first time, and that is the Vandieman Single Bevel 2-blade head. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If not, I'm sure some of you will correct me in that. But thanks to a viewer who sent me in a pack of these, I'm able to put them to the tests, and I'm going to put them through all the tests that I'm using for 2021, and I'm using my Bowtech SR6, set at 72 pounds, and Bishop FOC King arrows. So let's zoom on in here, go through some of the design features and specifications, and then put these heads to the test. Here's a good look at the head close up, and you'll see that, man, this is one beefy single bevel 2-blade head right here. This is the 225 grain model. Has a cutting diameter of 1 1/4 inches, so a nice wide cut like that. Plus it has a thickness of 2 millimeters, or just about 0.080 inches thick. It's a solid piece of steel. It's molded steel, and it's brought to a Rockwell hardness of 44 to 46. Now that's not very hard for a single bevel head. A lot of times with single bevels, because of the way they rotate, they experience a lot of chatter or, nicking and stuff like that as it rotates, as it penetrates. So I'm interested to see how durable this is at that Rockwell hardness of 44 to 46, but it'll make it relatively easy to resharpen. That's an advantage. The single bevel angle there, or the bevel angle, is 30 degrees. Okay, which is not bad. You get too low, like below 30, and then, man, you experience a lot of edge chatter because the blades just get too thin. 30 is pretty light, but not as light as some others. Then you'll notice that it has this Tanto style tip, which is just going to make it a little bit extra durable there. And it's kind of interesting how some heads do this. It's kind of like double bevel at the tip itself, to make it, I guess, for durability, perhaps for penetration, and then it just turns into pure single bevel after that. That typically makes it a little bit more difficult to sharpen right there. You'll also notice that the back edges have that same 30-degree bevel, and they're sharpened as well, and they're angled outward. That's going to aid in pulling out of an animal or pulling out of a target, as well as going to aid in flight because there's less surface area than if it came back, all the way here and was perpendicular. And for a description and explanation of all the tests that I'm using, you can read the description beneath this video, and I outline it there. Let's see how the Vandieman broadhead in 225 grains performs. Vandieman out-of-the-box sharpness, 375. It penetrated 7 inches. Vandieman after penetration test 1, 475. Vandieman after being sharpened with the Stay Sharp guide, 200. Wow, that's an amazing difference. It penetrated through 45 layers. It penetrated 10.5 inches and rotated 15 degrees. Here's the head after going through the steel plate 5 times. Still spins perfectly true, and it held up extremely well. I'm really impressed with this. The only real problem, and it's a very little problem, is the tip curled just a bit there at the end. I don't even know if you can make that out in the video. Yeah, I think you can, but it dulled and bent over just a little bit. But the edges experienced just a little bit of edge chatter, but not very much at all. Easily resharpened out, and even the tip can easily be resharpened for that matter. Here you get a good look at the wound channel as well, and it makes a classic single bevel 2-blade S cut, as you can see. Not a ton of rotation, as you can see there, but still you get that S cut just the same. So here's the head after it impacted the concrete, and I did not expect that. You can see it didn't just bend. I thought maybe it would bend a bit because of the relatively soft steel that it is, but it being so thick, I thought, well, it'd hold together, but nope. I mean, it really broke off, that sizable chunk at the end. You can see how it should be, and so you can see how much was cut off there. Let me compare it. Yeah, you can see how much was cut off. And that piece, I never could find. It's not in the concrete. And I looked all over the basement. I haven't been able to find it yet. So hopefully I don't find it on the bottom of my foot at some point. That's why I wear safety glasses. But that just broke right off. And then interestingly enough, I don't know if you caught it on the video, but actually the threaded portion of the ferrule broke off as well. It sheared right off. And the end is embedded inside my shaft right here. So it broke off there and it broke off there. Pretty surprising. So what'd you think of the Vandieman? You know, you can look through the score sheet and see how it performed in the areas that matter to you the most. I always try to be really respectful of the broadheads that I test and the companies. I know this head has taken a lot of different animals, and it will continue to take down a lot of different animals. It has some great weight options to it. Love the thickness. You know, love the cutting diameter. Love the accuracy of it. The long-range flight was really good. But in the other areas, like the penetration, the rotation, the edge retention, the sharpness, the durability in the concrete, a hard impact like that, it came up pretty wanting, to be honest. So if you compare it to other single bevel 2-blade heads, which is a really stacked market right now, honestly, there's a lot of other options that would make it into my quiver before this one. But that being said, I know this can get the job done in a lot of hunting situations as well. So check out the score sheets and see what you think about the Vandieman.